what just popped off. I just need you to repeat what just popped off. So, Lutwack gave the the judge, right?
I said I saw an email regarding your eviction, and it appears that the eviction was approved.
Who approved the eviction?
It's from the court.
Okay, because then that means that I have to contact HRA.
I can't hear you.
I have to contact HRA, and they are going to say, no, you cannot evict because you guys are under investigation.
HRA has nothing to do with this instruction.
Yes, they do, because they the ones that have been paying the arrears. If I would have known.
Postgraduate is not accepting your payment.
And they did not give me a reason for not accepting the payment.
Because you have not complied with providing your documents to renew your lease all these years.
No, that's not true. We all know, okay. Now, here's the thing. The termination of HUD is in this. The termination of HUD is before and after my taxes. Now, this is what I was telling you about before, and Darlene about before. This is post-lease. Post-lease. I moved. That means that I moved in, it'll be 2 weeks, August 14th. 2 weeks I've been here, August 14th. Last year, you had the opportunity to renew my lease, except when it came to that ILM that you're under investigation for, the NYPD. The judge is under investigation regarding the NYPD. So, here's what's going to pop on. Both judges are going to be under investigation regarding the NYPD, including last year. Because they basically said they were trying to use the ILM to stall the eviction. Failure to renew my lease.
You're talking about the guardian?
I'm talking about everything. Failure to renew my lease last year and back in 24, when you knew that I was in a hospital, the judge knew that I was in a hospital. Both judges are in investigation. So when I'm going to hit up HRA. I'm going to hit up, and they're going to contact you, and they're going to, again, contact the judge, and the judge is going to say you cannot evict her like that.
Okay. Well,
because,
I was coming to inform you, so you can contact who you need to contact to
and then, because for failure to renew lease, like I was telling you before, this was, all of this was basically tort. You knew what? Oh, Miss Johnson, she didn't renew her. No, the lease. I read the lease. I have even from back in 2018, 2022, and the lease did not mention anything about a certain subsidy, which is what I told you when my aide was here. All it said was my share was $215. That's all it said. And then the rest would be the $1,660 something. What you should have done was added, okay, it's mandatory for both subsidies. You did not say that.
I did not say any of that. That's not me.
That's not. I'm talking about the agency.
Okay.
The agency did not say that. So the agency, the judge, Letwack or Hassan, of course, there's going to be another recusal. Of course, HRA is going to get involved. Of course, NYPD is going to get involved. Of course, Soy is going to get involved and say, you can't tell her to get the fucking stuff on with this eviction because A, we stopped the checks. This is discrimination on, this is sources of income. No one, you cannot physically discriminate, bar me from living here. Point blank.
No one is barring you from living here, but there's a process with every apartment building.
I understand that. But what you didn't do was, which I'm getting on Darlene's cases, okay, guess what? Well, you weren't here this year to renew the lease. I was here this year after HRA paid and you came up with Darlene and you said we just barred, it was basically, if all of this is failure to renew lease, whose fault was that? Because I order now, I have to jump down Darlene's throat. Because then it boils to the matter of, guess what? Well, that since 24, I was in the hospital. What you did was you filed prematurely and then said, oh shit, Arisha's in the hospital. She's been in the hospital 2-3 times. We can't tell her to get the fucking stuff in yet. Oh shit. Now this boils down to the first time this pulled off back in 23. When that, I need to find out if Darlene was here towards the end of the summer. Because what you can't pull is no admitted.
The end of what summer?
Towards the end of 23.
Oh, okay.
Because you all stop those checks. That's why HR, and I said,
But
HR.
it's a normal process. When you're in eviction, they're not going to accept your rent payments. It's a normal process. So is the process, the normal steps would be is when we were following up and we were asking for your income and all that stuff.
But you already had that.
No, every year you have to provide.
You already it doesn't matter. Do you know how many times I sent letters? I sent letters down. When my aide was here, I have my income verification letter. I have my budget letter.
You gave that to the aide to give us?
Yes, and doing these saying, okay, no problem.
Never received it.
Since March, since last year.
The papers that your aide is bringing, it is not your income stuff. This is stuff these are letters and stuff that you.
But you know that I'm not okay.
Of.
My income is I'm not making any income. That is my income, which is the income letter that I had her.
You said you have HRA.
Exactly. The budget letter. I've been sent the budget letter downstairs. I've been sent that. So it's not in a matter of, oh well, we did it. No, Miss Johnson go back downstairs and say, okay, how many times did Miss Johnson's aide come down and say, this is the budget letter since last year, even when it was reinstated? Because I
come downstairs, she's provided paperwork, and she said you wanted copies of it. Or it was something.
So maybe Dornice didn't understand, because when I give orders, I say I need everything. I need copies. I need this. I need that, to make sure that everybody's on the same page. That's what I'm very thorough.
But then also, if you recall, a couple of months ago, we also informed you while you were on the phone with HRA that you lost your subsidy and your subsidy.
That and HRA, and that's why. And when I spoke to the supervisor, HRA spoke to the judge. So now he has to speak to. I spoke with HRA, and HRA informed me that I don't know how he did. I don't know if he went in person or via phone. He probably did it via phone. And said, listen, we stop those checks. They cannot, if it's failure to be certified, Ms. Johnson still has that soul to say, here's my income. Here's my budget letter. Here's I ain't making no kind of money. Now, if y'all need, or whatever the judge needs, because basically the IRS is going to come, SOI's going to come, and the NYPD's coming as well. There's a major investigation. Okay. Well, even with the judge. Sure but the eviction is going to be on hold, because now I have to contact HRA, and HRA is going to be like, no, because this has been going on for a while. Then they're going to say, why haven't you been renewing your lease? I said, that boils down to back in 23 when this popped off. The end of the year, the end of the summer, I have to go do my digging and say, okay, wait a minute. How was Darlene here from July up until September? I can't remember of that, because if that's the case, then my lease should have been rolled over to the next year.
Did I say this to you? Forget about 23. Even forget about 24. Since I've been here, I know I came to you and told you what was needed.
Exactly. Like I said, now, so you can inform downstairs that both judges are going to be the NYPD is involved.
Okay. So I'm gonna also let you know I'm gonna reach out to APS because of what's going on to make sure that you get the assistance that you need.
The APS is going to wind up closing the case.
Okay.
And they're getting investigated too.
No problem.
So all it is another APS visit, and I'm gonna say, or when they decide to pop up, I'm gonna say no. You can do whatever that you want. This is a Countaslapps, but no, I'm not gonna use any of your services. Once HRA says, because like I said, oh well, now Darlene's late with the lease. Oh, because she didn't give us the paperwork. Well, wait a minute, no, because I still have my paperwork ready. I still have last month's budget letter. I still have my letter for I ain't making no kind of shitty ass income.
At this point, I don't know what else to.
So I need to know who made the decision to e me out.
I'm sure you'll receive the paperwork soon.
Because that means that
if it's not already in your mail, have you checked your mail?
There's no mail. So yet again, the get the fucking separate eviction is gonna be on hold. I'm just letting you know. So APS can pop up all they want to, and she's gonna say no, because this is the Countaslapps and you are in it, and this is HR, and those judges are gonna be investigated by the NYPD.
You have the right to refuse whatever service.
So every time that you're gonna do, how you guys are pulling this shit on me is very, very meticulous. It's very, very hurtful. All these services up in here, y'all can't fix this. Y'all knew I almost died 2 years ago. Y'all knew I was in the ILM last year, and now all of a sudden, oh well, because she never gave us the income. There was so many times that my aide, and she will testify, I said I came downstairs. She wants everything. She wants copies. She wants everything.
I'm gonna go get the folder that Donnie's keeps of the documents that you send downstairs.
And I still have I still have the letter.
There's no budget letter, no income.
So maybe Donnie didn't do what she was supposed to do.
No, we keep whatever you give us to make sure that we have.
Because there was been so many times when my aides came upstairs, they said, "Here, Miss Johnson needs for you to make copies, send it, but this is basically for for your end." And I still have, and I can still, it's piled up somewhere on Monday or Tuesday. I'll have what do you call it? I'll have Diana come, and it'll probably be in a few of those, that pile right there that says I have no income coming in, and this is the budget letter. So that if that's the proof that this, whatever the case is, then it's not my fault that I didn't sign my lease this year. I mean, right now, because apparently, y'all don't know how to do nothing anyway with all these branches up in here. And I'm like, how many times this year did I ask? And I said, because I'm going to tell these judges off, and I'm going to cuss the fuck out on the judges and say, this is post lease. You may not know what this means, but I do because of my father's testimony, and I don't need a lawyer because of my father's testimony. I'm safe. But like I said, guess what? Okay, I know that I've sent so many times my letter and my budget letter. Even last year, even when, it was reinstated. All of that don't matter to HRA and HUD. The fact that like I said before, as long as I have a case open, that was it. And by law, this agency has no choice but to accept me as a tenant. That's it. So whenever APS comes, just be like, I'm going to pull this 110 too and say, now you're being investigated as well. Because now I'm going to, NYPD, like I said, NYPD is getting involved. It don't matter. It don't matter at this point. This has been going on for the past 2 years. For the past 3 years. For the past 3 years. There has been so much discrepancies regarding, why now, and I told Cassim, because when I first moved in here, everything was, okay, we need everything a month before you renew your lease. Now you're looking at it as we need everything 6 months, 7 months before post-lease. That's for your shitty ass folks. That has nothing to do with me. As long as I sign my lease, that's all that I'm worried about.
But you're supposed to sign a lease every year.
Exactly. So
Right,
all these years from
that.
2022, no. The judge already knew since 2022. Okay, she ain't making. This is the letter. She ain't making no kind of income. This is her budget letter. She ain't making no kind of income. Budget letter. She ain't making no kind of income. It has been consistent. So on Monday and Tuesday, when you get the I ain't making no kind of income letter again, then it's gonna be like, oh well, for some reason that it was just for the copies. No, if it was for the copies, then that was supposed to go to every single fucking courthouse that we have. So when I said to all the courts, when I tell Diana on my age, have them send them.
Are you talking about the same Diana you were speaking to?
Yeah.
Right, but do you recall that conversation when she said that you had to go to HPD because
she don't know what she's talking about, which is why she's getting into some trouble.
Okay.
Well, and then when she understood, oh well, wait a minute, because she also read the lease, and she said, guess what? You're right. It does not say HPD. It says your share is $215, including the.
Right, so who's paying the other portion of the rent?
That would be HRA.
Right.
Not HPD. It doesn't say HPD on the original lease. Even from 22, it does not say. I thoroughly read the lease. It has none of it says. It has to mandated this because another judge is going to say Ms. Johnson is right.
No problem. Like I have to.
So
because they keep calling me, but I have the folder downstairs of all the stuff that you've been sending down with your aid, and at no time did we find any of your income information.
So
all those paperwork that you sent.
So now it's in a matter of why didn't Denise?
No, it's whatever you send. We keep copies of what you send.
But it's your job to say we need to send this to the right, whatever we got to do, regardless
if you're not giving us what we need, what are we sending?
If I'm saying I need copies, then it's on your end because you apparently need these copies. Is that right? Yes, it is.
The stuff that you're sending,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's your end that's supposed to say.
No problem, Ms. Johnson.
Okay.